Last year, the busiest Saturday, we did over $100,000 just out of our pizza spot.
Come on.
108.
What?
This year, we're going to beat
phenomenal. Welcome to Digital Hospitality. I'm your host, Sean Walchef. This is a Cali BBQ Media production. We believe that every business needs to build digitally first, especially brick and mortar businesses like restaurants. We also believe that every business is in the hospitality business, whether they know it or not. If you're a new listener, if you're a new viewer, welcome. We appreciate you. We believe a rising tide lifts all ships. Back when I started this crazy podcast in 2017 as a restaurant owner here in San Diego, I had a hope that I would connect with other owners, operators, leaders in the hospitality space, technology space, marketing space. And in the beginning, no one listened. So if you've been listening for a long time, thank you for listening. But now we've come a long way, and we have a lot of people that tune into this show and a lot of the content that we do to learn from the best. Our job is to curate owners, operators, leaders that are moving the needle in hospitality, that are taking care of communities, that are scaling with purpose, with intent. Today, we have Nora Hermann. She is the Chief Operating Officer of MOTO Pizza. If you're not familiar with MOTO Pizza, I suggest you go directly to Instagram and give them a follow, because they are one of my favorite accounts that I follow. And that is high praise, because we are social heavy, storytelling heavy, and MOTO Pizza. Congratulations on all the success. Please, Nora, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. We're really excited to be able to chat with you.
Can you tell us high level, how many locations, where did you guys start? How many employees?
Yeah. So our founder, Lee Kindell, he and his wife actually owned backpacker hostels and lost their entire business during COVID. And his retirement plan was to open a pizzeria, make 40 pizzas a day by himself. And because they lost their business, they decided to bring that plan forward. And we opened in January of 2021 during Omicron virus, which in Seattle, everybody was still pretty hunkered down for. And it really just took off. And so, we just hit our 5-year, which is really exciting. We currently have 7 stores. We're planning on doubling our footprint by the end of the year, which is also very exciting. I think the latest count on employees is about 70, but we're going to hire probably at least 20 more people in the next 6 weeks, because we have 4 stores opening over the next 8 weeks. So we're busy.
That is incredibly exciting. I just saw the hiring video. I've been making hiring videos. I mean, we've been in business for 18 years. So as soon as we could start making videos on the internet, we started doing it. And it warms my heart to see other brands using social to connect with talent, hospitality talent that is out in the field. We're recording this right before, 2 weeks before Super Bowl. The Seattle Seahawks are playing in the Super Bowl. I know that's a big deal for your brand. Can you bring us into operations on a normal Super Bowl, and then bring us into operations that you're preparing for this year's Super Bowl?
Yeah, this is actually super great timing, because I inadvertently, unplanned, scheduled my entire day yesterday, took all my meetings off the books and looked at Super Bowl last year, looked at our sales lift, looked at our product mix, looked at our promotion, how successful it was. And then Seahawks weren't in the Super Bowl last year. So then we had to think, oh my gosh, okay, last year was already a big day. It's pizza, it's Seahawks, it's our home team. How much more are we going to be? And so I went through and did individualized projections for all of our stores. Wow. And then did product mix as well, because, Super Bowl ordering is different than a random Sunday ordering. And so gave them detailed dough projections for both sizes of our pizza dough, and really put together a really, really thoughtful and really exciting plan that we're just stoked to execute on. We're planning on it being our biggest day ever, knock on wood. So we're really excited for it and feeling really confident in looking at the data, helping it guide us into what's to come, and had to rewrite our schedules and adjust projections and all that good stuff. But we're feeling good about it now.
How did you learn about the brand? How did you learn about MOTO Pizza?
That's a fun question. Worked in food and hospitality my whole life. Love pizza, and just heard about it on Instagram of like, there's this crazy pizza place
Yes.
that sells out months in advance, and we'll see if we can secure a spot. Right back in the day, the first time I ever went, I think I ordered 3 months in advance. I showed up. It was like a November, like dark, dreary Pacific Northwest day. Brought my son and had awesome pizza, but met Lee and his wife, Nancy, who was working in the business at the time. And I called my mom on the way home and I was like, hey, this was really weird. Like the pizza was incredible, which really cool. Great. I had awesome pizza. But I said, what was like even more incredible was the owners and their passion and their kindness. And Lee toured us through the kitchen and showed us his business. And he was genuinely just so excited to share about what he was doing. And I like remember driving away and feeling it was one of those hospitality experiences that you're never going to forget. And then every time they dropped pizzas, we would text our friends and like, I'm going to get this pizzas on this day and these pizzas, and you get these pizzas on this day. And ended up doing that a bunch and ended up spending time with Lee at International Pizza Expo the following year and really spent the whole 3 days with him just talking about what he was doing, where he was planning on going, how he wanted to grow it and expand his business. He was picking my brain because I had grown a few companies, and he asked me to work for him for like 6 months and I said no. But anybody that knows Lee knows that if he is nothing, he is persistent, and eventually whittled me down. And I joined 3.5 years ago at store 1, right before we started expanding.
What have you learned now at store 7, opening 8, 9, and 10? What have you learned now that you wish you knew back when you only had one location?
I wouldn't say that it's necessarily like new learnings, but it reconfirms my thought and belief in taking your time to build a really solid foundation so that when you do grow, it's not as painful. Back at store 2, we had no money. We bought used equipment off of, auction and rented a U-Haul and drove to Portland to pick it all up. And really just, we say like Band-Aids and bubble gum is how we put it together. And that was just because we had to, right? And so we had to. So we did it. And now going into these stores, it honestly just gives me a deep appreciation for all of the hard work that we've put in, finding systems for scheduling, for payroll. We were, hand signing checks every other week with, loads of checkbooks and all of that. And so truly just having systems and processes in place, I'm so excited to grow our business, and I'm not stressed about it because I'm feeling really confident in what we've slowed down to take the time to build. So really just reaffirms kind of what I already know, but we just didn't have time to do it back then.
So one of the reasons why we started this show was to talk to real owners, operators, people that are actually boots on the ground, touching the problems, not only the problems, but also experiencing the hospitality, providing the warmth, providing the love, providing the pizza. But in order to do that in the chaos, you need to have partners. You need to have tech that helps you do that. Can you bring us into your tech stack?
Yeah. So we've always used Toast for our point of sale system. MOTO's a little bit unique in that we had sold out really far in advance. And some of our stores have single phase power. Some of them have 3-phase power. We're in stadiums and have like a really unique footprint. So we layered in Olo into our tech stack about 1.5 years ago. Love the customization that has come from that, being able to throttle for our single phase stores differently than we do our 3-phase power stores and whatnot. And we've have a payroll system now, which is lovely. They pay our taxes on our behalf because we were manually having to keep track of all of that back in the day.
You're using Davo through?
We're using Paylocity for our payroll system. So super grateful to have that. So I'm not manually calculating taxes online on like a paycheck calculator. And we've used a couple scheduling systems, but just implemented Rightwork into our business in the last 6 or so months, started and then just rolled out all of our stores a couple weeks ago.
Tell me more about Rightwork. How'd you find out?
So Rightwork, we're currently using it for labor scheduling and optimization. I found Rightwork kind of happenstance. I have some friends in the industry that I really trust and believe in, and they had just implemented Rightwork. And I said, oh, that's unique and interesting. Let me look into it. So went on their website, looked at all of the demo videos. MOTO is known for being very innovative. We won Most Innovative Pizza Company last year. And so everything that we do is very like future forward. So when I'm looking at technology, we had a scheduling system that was fine, but I knew it wasn't going to grow with us. Yeah. And so in looking at Rightwork, I was really excited about it because they have AI, which perks the ears of our founder. And I just love their adoption of technology and how they can use it to streamline operations and help make our lives a little bit easier. So I was super excited about it. They have a learning management system where I can type in, how long do I proof shareable size dough for, and it pulls up all of the data, shares the documents out to you so you can, reference the resource documents and just get a quick answer. And I was like, this is really cool. So then I reached out to the founder and just continued to have conversations with them. And we piloted our first store starting in October. Went super well, super easy. Will and the team at Rightwork are just amazing, incredible partners. I cannot sing their praises highly enough. And we did a training for all of our GMs early January, and then just launched officially on the 11th of January. So we're pretty fresh into it, but everyone's really excited about it. Probably no one more than me, though.
What I love and why I love doing this show is, we obviously work with Toast. Toast is in 150,000 locations. I'm fortunate to have interviewed Aman Narang, the co-founder and CEO of Toast, and Kelly Eston, the chief marketing officer. But when I talk to the founders of Toast, Steve Fredette and Aman Narang, about building Toast, what they share with me is in the beginning, they were inside of restaurants building the software as it came out of the restaurant owner's mouth. Yeah. Meaning like they didn't have a way to do menu modifications for a wine list, but the owner's asking for the wine list before the dinner service. And literally the team, Aman and Steve, are there coding right there. And like what we have to remember as owners, operators, to your point, tech forward, the technology that's going to serve us today has to evolve. You have to find partners like Rightwork, where Will Stewart is accessible to a brand like you guys that are growing, because it's just as powerful for him and his team at Rightwork to have MOTO Pizza and learn from you. Because to your point, you're in not just traditional locations, you're in stadium locations. That makes for a flexible, different model. But knowing that, that's actually beneficial for a lot of other brands that are looking at stadiums and airports and other non-traditional locations. Talk about the feedback loop.
I love the feedback loop. In Rightwork, we have an app, and there is a chat that's going on with Will and the founders and our GMs directly, our DM directly, and myself. There have been things that they've shot up at 9:00 at night saying, hey, this time card edit didn't go through, what's going on? And before I'm even in the chat, Will has already fixed it, or his team has already fixed it. So the feedback loop, it's unique to have GMs have access to the founder of a company and hold their hand through this process. They did the training. I'm usually the one, I'm like, are you sure you're doing it? I'm usually one that like writes all the material and does all the training. But he was like, no, we want to do it. But I have so much trust in them and what they've delivered to us that it was easier for me to let go. So that's a big part of the feedback loop. I will say all of our vendors, if they watch this, are probably laughing. Like, we are very verbal in our feedback. We are not afraid to share.
I will tell any vendors that are watching this that we are the best customers. The verbal ones, the ones that you want on customer advisory boards, the ones that you want on podcasts, the ones that you want in content. We're not shy because we believe so deeply in what we're doing. Yeah. I had a call with Toast and they were talking about, just the idea of busy. The idea of busy to the rest of the world is a bad idea. Like, people don't want to be busy. Oh, I'm so busy at work. Like, restaurants, we want to be busy. Yeah. Like, in fact, like, we dread when it's not busy. And if it is really busy, What we really need is the technology to work seamlessly so we can play ball, so we can do what we love to do.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, we're very verbal. So throughout the entire process, my director of field ops, myself, director of ops services have given Will feedback probably on the daily. That might be a little excessive, but not too far off of, hey, it would be really cool if we could have the schedule ping the district manager so he can review it before it's published. And he was like, oh yeah, we already have that feature. Let me turn it on for you. I sent him an email 2 days ago asking about an intraday report so we can see how we're doing, after, on the shoulder after lunch before we get into dinner. He was already actively working on it, emailed me last night and said, hey, it's live. Messaged me this morning to confirm that it was there and ask for my feedback. So yeah, just to me, technology is amazing. But what makes it really work for us is the partnership and investing in partners that want to see us succeed. And I want them to succeed just as much. And so truly, I pay attention to the partnership more than I do the, check box of can it do this? Can it do that? And that's why I'm so excited about Rightwork, honestly, is because Will has been amazing partner for us.
When I say busy in the sense of restaurants, what does that mean to you?
So busy for us is busy on a good day is we planned to be busy. We're staffed to be busy. We have enough product to be busy, which means we can take really great care of our customers. We can sell a lot of pizza. We can contribute profitability to our organization. But it's all like organized chaos to me. That's what good busy is, where there's a plan going into it. Or if we are unexpectedly busy, that we have a plan to pivot and fix and be ready to meet the demands. Like Super Bowl, we'd already written our schedules. We'd already thought we knew what we were doing. Seahawks win. We're going to pivot. We're going to make a new plan because we're going to be busy, but now we're going to be really busy. So having a plan to go into it is awesome and exciting. And honestly, if you go into any restaurant and it's slow, you can see it on the people's faces that are working in there. Like, man, my shift, it just took forever. Like, I loved working holidays at Starbucks, Thanksgiving morning. My shift was over in the blink of an eye. So to me, that's busy.
What other tools are you using that somebody that's watching this podcast, listening, could benefit from? Anything that comes top of mind?
Yeah. So some of the other tools that we use that I've used in a past life and brought over to Moto are there's a company that I started with at Mod called Measure Up or Daily Checks. We use it for opening, midday, closing checklists. But my favorite feature is their Bluetooth thermometer temp checks. So we have a Bluetooth thermometer. You just stick it in the thing and it records it all for you.
Sweet.
If the health department comes in, I can just show them the digital logs instead of like, let me find that paper that has pizza sauce spilt all over it.
What's it called?
It's called Measure Up. Measure Up is the company. Daily Checks is that portion of the software that we're utilizing for it. Cool. And then they have like store audits, right? So if our district manager is visiting stores, he can do like a store operations assessment, assign items to the GMs. They'll get notifications about when it's due, and you can follow up digitally for everything. Just because we're busy. We don't always have a chance to get to the stores to confirm that it's done. Like, I'm very big on like trust but verify. Yes. Those tools allow us to verify without having to be there and see it with our own two eyes, which to me is a beautiful thing.
That's amazing. What kind of AI tools are you using? You mentioned Rightwork, but any other? Are you using Toast IQ? Anything else?
We're using AI tools, Rightwork. We are leaning into technology, like robotics side of things, not fully defined yet. Yep. But I'd say more from that side of things. We had, a picnic robot in our stores for a little while at the Perrybot Open. We do the tennis tournament down in Palm Desert every year. We had that for a season, looking at doing some new different robotics, like box folding robots to take that kind of mundane task out of the hands of our people. So more on the like that side of things than it is on like the technology side of things. I do utilize Toast for those things, but I'm in Olo so much more because it integrates into Toast. So that's really where I spend the majority of my time in terms of menu management, hours of operation, making modifier edits and whatnot, because we're a very heavy digital order organization. And then we're going to launch loyalty later this year. So we're using a lot of AI and tech to support what that's going to look like. It's not yet fully defined yet. So kind of more for stuff that's in the works than much of what's in reality today, other than in Rightwork.
And what tool have you picked your loyalty vendor? Or are you looking?
We have not picked our loyalty vendor. We are looking. We have defined some requirements. We want it to easily integrate with Olo because that's where all of our online orders come from. We're Moto, and you follow us on Instagram. We're funky and loud and kind of crazy and unique. And so very much want that experience to be the same in our app than it is in our stores. Or if you're looking at Lee's Instagram and he's, making a new product or doing something wild and crazy. So trying to figure out what that looks like. I think we've narrowed it down to a few, but we'll probably be deciding here in the next month or two, which I'm super excited about.
Amazing. Let's talk a little bit about culture.
Yeah.
Who are you hiring for? What's your hiring philosophy?
Yeah. The simplest way I can put it is grit. Looking for people that have grit. That was not something that we had necessarily defined. And then we hired a few people that didn't have grit. And it was like, oh, that is something that we need to be successful at Moto. And honestly, just being a good human. Like, you follow Lee at the end of every post, he says, be kind. And that's kind of our biggest rule. It's like, don't be a jerk, be a good human. You can make mistakes. We give grace. We're all in it. We're all learning. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to learn together, especially in a company that's growing so fast. But really be a good human and have some grit. We are T-Mobile Park, Mariners play baseball there. We're doing 2,000 pizzas in 3 hours there.
What?
It is hard work. If you don't have grit, you just can't make it work. Indian Wells, the Perry Bot Open, it's a really, really busy. It's the fourth largest tennis open. We have a Saturday there every year. Last year, the busiest Saturday, we did over $100,000 just out of our pizza spot.
Come on.
108.
What?
This year, we're going to beat
phenomenal.
it. But we sold over 3,000 pizzas there that day. And it's not for everybody. And that's totally okay. It doesn't have to be for everybody, but we really try and find those people that are kind of excited about the grind, that are excited. We take busy, I think, to a new level at Moto. Yeah. But people that are excited about it, that love the culture, the community. We just hit our 5 years. So I was doing some a 5-year wrapped kind of looking at our turnover and retention, how much cheese we've sold and pepperoni we've gone through. And the thing that I'm genuinely most proud of is our turnover is 43%, wow. Which I could cry thinking about it. Our teams
industry average is over 100. Yeah.
Our teams are incredible and they're bought in and they love us and we love them back. It's not a one-way street. And so really finding those people that fit, and we're kind of picky. We don't just hire everyone because it has to be good on both ends. You have to love us as much as we love you in order to make it work. But yeah, I'd say grit and being a good human are really what it comes down to for us.
That's amazing. Before I let you go, one of my favorite parts of the show is I get to ask you about your personal tech stack. So are you iPhone or Android?
I am iPhone.
iPhone. What version?
I think I have a 15.
15? Which carrier? Which carrier?
Xfinity.
And have you been, is that a Northwest thing? Or
Comcast, Xfinity. Comcast, I'm sure. Yeah, I think they changed their name to Xfinity, okay. I think.
Fair enough. Phone calls or text messages?
Text messages, unless it's the parents, then phone calls are okay.
Then phone calls are okay. Do you leave voicemails?
I don't leave voicemails. I've seen some of your stuff and I was thinking about it because I was like, I don't leave voicemails, but I love voicemails from people. Like I have voicemails saved from my mom, from my dad, from people that I love that I'm never going to delete because I love hearing them and listening to them. So funny that I don't leave them. It kind of perked a thought in my mind about maybe I should start leaving voicemails if they're just kind messages, you know, who doesn't want to listen to that?
How many emails do you get a day?
Oh gosh. Probably 100, 150.
How many of those do you enjoy reading?
The other day I enjoyed 2.
The other day I enjoyed 2.
We sent out an email to our team of just, you know, some support resources. And I got 2 emails back from our staff just saying, thank you for being a place where you care about us this much. And so like, those are the ones I enjoy reading. Otherwise, it's just busy work to me.
What are the work apps that you use? Team communication, sales, like what apps are you looking at on your phone to run ops?
Toast is one that I check the most often because I pay attention to our sales very, very much. So Toast, Rightwork, because I'm checking the chat just to see how everybody's doing. Those are really like the main 2 for me.
And for corporate communications, are you guys on Slack or text or email, or how do you guys do it?
We use Microsoft Suite, so we're on Teams really kind of for everything right now. It was just what was institutionally there and is still there now. So I know we, you know, host email through Go. We need some support on that side of things. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. And so we just kept going with it, but we'll come up to times with that once the stores get settled a little bit.
If I'm fully on it, the reason I do this part of the show is like, as much I'm so interested in it, but I don't think anyone talks about it. Like we all just have this personal technology that we bring into work. And then somehow it's like, I'm expected to have this work with this. And then you're like, are we on G Suite or they're on Microsoft and we're in a Zoom call and someone's paying for a Zoom meeting. And yet we have Google. Like what's happening?
We had that conversation.
How are we all paying for extra SaaS?
Yeah, we had that conversation like 6 or so months ago because some calls were on Zoom, some calls were on Teams, some calls were Google Meet. And we just said, hey, everyone at least has like an Outlook email. Let's just do Teams because it's what everyone has access to and we'll run from there. So we kind of streamlined a little bit just to make it easy because it was kind of confusing.
Which AI tool are you using the most?
I use chat.
Chat for paid version or unpaid?
Paid. Yeah, paid version for sure. For a lot of my stuff. Yeah. It just kind of helps put my thoughts together when I'm running a million miles a minute. Do you have a story of something that you used ChatGPT for that you were like, holy shit, I should use this more? Like recently? Yeah, I will. Maybe a little personal, but I don't think he'd mind if I share. I'm not really speaking out of school, but really for me, it's like I've been able to share like challenges that I'm having with my team or someone on my team and say, hey, like, here are all the things that I've tried. Here's where we're still kind of stuck. Can you ask me some questions just to like clarify and make sure that what you have is helpful? And it really gave me some different ways of thinking about it. I like to say, for me, there's the golden rule and the platinum rule. The golden rule is you treat others the way you want to be treated. To me, the platinum rule is to treat others the way they want to be treated. So I very much as a leader believe that that is my job, is to bend and adjust the way that I need to so that my team can be the most successful. And so I've kind of used it to do a little bit of psychology of like, hey, well, this person, you've seen them be successful this way. You've tried this and it just hasn't worked. So what if you do this? And so it just kind of helped me get out of my head about it, if that makes sense. So it was good to kind of offer a different perspective without, going to talk to a coworker about it because that felt kind of personal. So I use it for that. I use it for modeling a lot. Like yesterday when I was planning Super Bowl, I took some sales data out of Toast, the product mix report, which I'm obsessed with and I go into all of the time, and said, hey, here was Super Bowl last year. We're anticipating a lift of this. Can you walk me through what the new one will be? Because then I just didn't have to, paste it into Excel, add a formula, verify the formula, and go from there. So that part was really nice too.
I would highly suggest doing that same exercise and asking Toast IQ.
I'm excited to. Yeah, I've read about it. I just haven't a lot.
It's basically like having ChatGPT on steroids inside. Okay. So it knows your organization, plus it also knows 150,000 Toast other users. So the data is super powerful, and it's gotten much, much, much better.
I think that there's a lot that I have to learn when it comes to Toast. We've just always had it. So I didn't need to, I know enough to add a menu item and pricing and change a modifier and out of stock something and, update little things. But there's so much that I haven't learned because I wasn't there when we implemented it. There's something to be said for implementing a product where you get to know it from top to bottom. And I will be the first to admit there's a lot I don't know about Toast yet. I know they've also been optimizing so much for that. I'll take some pointers and listen to a few more of your podcasts and see what I can get out of it.
I appreciate that. Do you prefer photos or videos?
Photos.
How many photos are on your phone?
Oh my gosh. You want me to check? I have a little one, so there's probably a million of him.
That makes sense.
Yeah, let's see. It's syncing with my iCloud. Oh, I have 43,000 photos on my phone.
That is impressive work.
That
is good smartphone storytelling. What's your favorite social app?
I would say professionally LinkedIn. Personally, I'm on Instagram probably more than I should be.
Fair enough. Apple Maps or Google Maps?
Apple Maps.
Apple Maps. And which music platform do you listen to?
I use Spotify for most everything.
Spotify. And is there any app that you use daily that is really cool that you don't think most people know about?
I wouldn't say that it's relevant for the masses, but there's an app called Links to Home, and I get to spy on what my 4-year-old does at school all day, every day, and I love it. So
wait, you get to watch them at school?
It's not like active or live, but the teachers post pictures or videos.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
My son, for whatever, I've played sports my whole life. I coached softball forever. I love sports, and my son hates PE. So that's a thing we've been working on. And yesterday was PE day. So I was able to log in and see that he was participating. So we went for a Happy Meal after school to celebrate. So that was a win for me.
That's really cool. Well, if you guys are watching this, I'm weirdly available. You can reach out to me anytime at Sean P. Walchef, ShawnPWalchef. Instagram's the fastest, but weirdly available on all platforms. LinkedIn, you can email me, Sean at CaliBBQ.media. If you know a restaurant leader that we should be talking to, please let me know. We're booking people for the show. We're going to be going to all different types of trade shows this year. So if you're at Restaurant Leadership Conference, Bar and Restaurant Show in Vegas, National Restaurant Show in Chicago, please let us know. We have a Rising Tide community that would love to meet you. Nora, thank you so much. I can't wait to go visit. I know you guys just opened, I want to say Seaport Village. Is that right?
We are opening in San Clemente in the next month or so. So you can.
What about Seaport Village in San Diego? Do you have a San Diego location?
We will have a San Diego location. So currently we will be opening San Clemente, and then Little Italy will be our next.
Little Italy. Perfect. Well, when you open in Little Italy, we'll make sure to bring the wolf pack, my wife, my son, and my daughter to come down and check it out. But awesome. We'll put links to Rightwork, to Toast, to any of the tech tools that Nora talked about in the episode. Any parting words for someone crazy enough to get into this business, stay in this business? Oh
my goodness. I mean, my favorite thing about being in hospitality is that we get paid to make people's days. And I think that is a really cool gift. So I love it.
That's awesome. Nora, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. As always, guys, stay curious, get involved, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this long, you are part of the community. You're part of the tribe. We can't do this alone. We started, no one was listening. Now we have a community of digital hospitality leaders all over the globe. Please check out our new series called Restaurant Technology Substack. It's a Substack newsletter. It's free. It's some of our deep work on the best technology for restaurants. Also, go to YouTube and subscribe to Cali Barbecue Media. Cali BBQ Media on YouTube. We've been putting out a lot of new original content. Hopefully you guys like that content. If you want to work with us, go to betheshow.media. We show up all over the United States, some international countries. We would love to work with you and your growing brand on digital storytelling. You can reach out to me anytime at Sean P. Walchef on Instagram. I'm weirdly available. Stay curious, get involved. Don't be afraid to ask for help. We'll catch you next episode.